Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off the same way with gratitude, or some people will say thankfulness. And I am so grateful to be here. It's evening, I haven't had lunch yet, but that's okay. I am thankful that I haven't had lunch yet, and as soon as I'm finished this interview, I am going to be having lunch. It's lunch slash dinner. What do you call that?
Yay. Yay.
When you have breakfast and lunch, I call it brunch. So I don't know what is lunch dinner. I'll have to coin something for that. But, but it's awesome to have Howard Sambal on. He's actually closer than you think. He's in South Florida. And he's having a wonderful time with his 99-year-old mother. No, let me change that. 99-year young mother.
Yes, yes.
Not 99 years old. She's 99-year young. And was just saying to him off air that she better, I'm threatening her, so she better listen to this. She better go to the 100 and beyond. And he's telling me, yes, she would. And they're going to have a grand party. So, of course, I invited myself to the party by telling Howard he needs to have me there. So, when you see me rocking with his mom at 99, oh, my God, we will tell you all about it then.
Exactly.
All right. So, let me tell you a bit about Howard Sambal. He's looking quite handsome in his room there. Howard has guided many people to craft their genius life over the past 3 decades. Howard's specialty is working with those who feel like they're a square peg trying to fit in a round hole. It's not most of us with their corporate job or career or just life in general, I'll add that. His unique life crafting system combines personal growth, proven business tools, and astrology. It has enabled individuals to overcome their limitations and make money doing what they love. Howard's passion is helping you discover and combine your ideal life path and your creative genius. If you see yourself as an out-of-the-box thinker with a desire to have an impact, you will find Howard's book, and we'll show you that a little bit later, to be a lifelong toolkit for your present situation and your successful future. Welcome, Howard Sambal, to Between the Lines.
Thank you so much. I'm real excited to be here.
Of course, and we're excited to have you. Now, when we're talking about square peg in round holes and out-of-the-box thinker, you know, you're talking to me, I could tell you that, because you find yourself, I can tell you straight up, you find yourself, having a difficulty fitting in, and people are trying to force you to fit into what they think you should fit in. And you just, it's not that you mightn't try it at first, but somehow you're resisting, not voluntarily resisting, but your spirit and your body, your mind, it just doesn't resonate with you, and you're like, no, this is not me. I am being forced to be somebody else. This environment is not me. I'm not able to think, function, breathe, live happy. I'm not feeling it. Is that not the type of square pegs we're talking to?
Yes, exactly. Well, one of the things, Kareem, that most people grow up in our society with what I call an external frame of reference. That means they're taught from an early age that all answers to their questions, all things lie external to them, and they have to fit in, go there, please others, do what others tell you, authority-driven culture, etc. And invariably, people find that leads them to the square peg in the round hole, because they, they're just trying to fit in, and it oftentimes doesn't work. And then it takes them maybe 10 or 20 years or longer to finally wake up from the pain of that and say there has to be a better way. And of course, that shifts them with guidance. It shifts them to the internal frame of reference, which is learning, which is clarifying your deepest inner truth, your personal truth, and then living from that truth outward to then find those things in the world that match you, those people and situations that match you rather than the other way around.
Why do people have to go through 20, 30 years, 40 years of this before
they go
realizing that they need to follow their inner truth? Why?
They go through it because there are certain dominant cultural dominant cultural beliefs that are essentially transparent. So, for example, parents who are predominantly concerned with their children's well-being and security in life, financial security and safety, they want to help them, and that they were led to believe when they were young that you have to get the job, you have to have security,
Yes,
have
yes,
to work your way up to
yes.
higher salaries and positions. Again, these are all unexamined, unchallenged societal, cultural beliefs that typically do not get questioned or challenged until you reach that point of intense pain
Hmm.
and inner conflict, which eventually causes you to wake up, spiritually and emotionally and creatively, to discover, wait a minute, this isn't, like you said, this isn't me. I need to define my life on different terms, pursue a different thing. So
Why do
it's
we have to
that
go
way.
through the pain? Why do we have to go through the pain, Howard? Why do we have to reach that particular age and reach and have the pain? And what I'm noticing even with the younger generations, they are coming out. They're not like us that were brought up on the older type of thinking. They are speaking out their truth. They are living their life, and the perception and the interpretation of the generation of before is like, these kids don't know what they want. These kids are defiant. They're doing their own thing. They're going down the wrong path. They're going to end up in trouble. That's what the thinking is. But I believe in taking risks. I believe in living your truth. I believe in being who you are.
Well, there is a difference, Corinne, between being the individualist and maybe a renegade, or somebody who's bold, and pursues their own thing. But sometimes that is also not necessarily optimum, because a person can be rather impulsive or be driven as by a part of the puzzle. They may have only one piece of the puzzle and decide to jump on the bandwagon and blast their rocket off without really looking at deeply and really looking at the big picture, which is why we focus in life crafting on the idea of alignment at all levels, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, physically,
Yeah.
creatively. Know what all the truth is in you, not jump to a conclusion, not take a stab at it and say, oh, how can I make money, and I'll just go do it. What I tell people is that the number one method in our society for making major life decisions is eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's the method.
That still works.
That is the method that almost everybody uses. So in the amount of time it takes you to find what brand of orange juice you're going to buy in the supermarket, that's about the amount of time people take to make the decision about the next 40 years of their life.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo still works, Howard?
Yeah, well, that what I'm trying to say is that's the insanity that people live in, but it all comes from that indoctrination,
Yes,
for those limiting beliefs.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we most of the time only break out of limiting beliefs and limiting patterns when there is some impetus to break free. And the reality of life is that when there's pain, when there's conflict, that's when we get to question and think and go deeper. But until that happens, we don't rock the boat, and we just sort of go along on whatever path we're on. My role is to help people awaken and rattle their cage and help them discover the deeper truth.
That's my role, to help people awaken, because there are a lot of walking deads around, Howard. A lot of walking deads.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're so unconscious and so unaware. It amazes me. And
clarity is the foundational piece. But I do want to mention one other thing, Corinne, and that regarding the financial piece, which some of your viewers are going to wonder about that. Well, how do I find my passion or my life purpose if I can't, really pay the bills? I have to pay the bills. And so what I want to emphasize is a distinction we use called taxi job and career playground. So I use the term taxi job for some means, some source that gives you enough income to cover your basic expenses in life, And so you can relax, you get rid of your anxiety about money, and you can be creative, then clarify and design your career playground. And in life crafting, we help you with both of those. So if you're in the category of needing cash flow, just to, we have systems and tools for that. If you're in the place when I really want to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, we have a total master toolkit for that. And if you're in a place in life where you're scattering your energies and you don't know what to do first, and you're up and down and left and right, and and you're procrastinating and what your goals are unclear, then what we do is we help you create a support system. And a lot of people use that term support system, but if you like, I can go through the critical parts of what an effective support system is. If you like, I can quickly go through those.
Yeah, we have a few minutes to do that. Yeah, but don't give away all the secrets. Don't give away all the secrets now.
No, I won't. But believe me, I could speak for 5 hours and I wouldn't give away all the secrets. Yeah, we have 30+ years. We have a lot of a vast toolkit. But anyway, number one piece of a support system is direction and goals, because human beings need structure in their life. Without structure, people tend to be scattered and go everywhere all over the map. Second thing people need is feedback from caring, intelligent people who understand you and care about you, because without feedback, you can't make adjustments. So you drive your car off the edge of the cliff and you wonder why. So feedback is critical. Third thing people need is accountability, which really means the ability to make and keep promises to yourself and others, because without keeping promises to yourself and others, you're not going to trust yourself and others won't trust you, and therefore you can't build any relationships with anybody. So there's a direct correlation between promises and relationships. The fourth area is coaching. The reason why everybody needs some form of coaching is because we all have blind spots, things we simply don't know that we don't know.
Yeah.
If you know you don't know something, you can look for it. But if you don't know that you don't know, you would never look for it.
Yeah.
So coaching becomes critical for that reason. And the fifth critical item is the ability to identify and transform limiting beliefs. Because if you have a limiting belief, it will absolutely derail you, despite no matter how hard you work and no matter how smart you are. Again, no matter what opportunities you have, beliefs are the code. They're like computer code.
That's
within your consciousness.
Within your DNA. And it's so deeply embedded in your subconscious.
Correct.
I talk to people, and the way how they speak and the words that they use and the phrases, I know those are limiting beliefs. And I would change it around. And sometimes it's so shocking to their system. When I change things around, you see the reaction in them. And it's like, you're absolutely right, Corinne. I never thought about it that way. And I said, no, you need to become more aware of yourself and the words that you're using. Words are powerful. And the thing about it is people are so ingrained with these limiting beliefs from childhood, even before while they're in the womb, epigenetics.
Yes, exactly.
While they're in the womb, they're being
told
things.
So one of the things I want to make sure everybody knows who's watching this is that that we know from years and years of experience that creating a support system of this kind is very difficult to do on your own. And so one of the things I want to offer, well, we'll get to the details of this later, but one of the things I want to offer is that people watching this, if you simply contact me and we can have a brief conversation, I will help you to create that kind of support system that will truly empower you in your life to pursue your ideal path. So that's, I just want to make sure everybody knows that that's available.
Yes. How can they contact you?
Well, the absolute best way for people to contact me is my personal webpage, which is Howard S, the letter S, 360.com.
Hold one second for me.
Howard S, 360.com.
Let me pull up that page as you mention it.
Yeah, because I want to give people some instruction when they get to the page of what to do there to take the best advantage, okay?
So let's use the last few minutes to be able to do that. Howard S.
360. Howard S360.com.
All right, let me make sure I have it up first.
Okay.
And then I would share the screen. Oh, what S3?
Okay. Good.
Okay,
Perfect. And
right.
I'll give instruction of what to do when you get there.
Yes, hold 1 second. I'm going to
Okay. Sure. Sure.
share the
Absolutely.
screen. Yeah, here we go.
Okay. All right. Very good. Excellent.
So guide us now.
There we go. Now, just pause for just a moment there. So one of the things that you can obviously do here is you can watch this video, which is a personal video about me. You don't want to necessarily write, you can do that right away if you want to. But I really want to suggest that people click the little X in the upper right corner of the page. Because now you look at the page, you see that there's a contact button. Now I'm seeing here. You're probably doing this on a computer, right?
Yes.
Now on your mobile device, so on your phone, or tablet, you're going to see a little button. It's not on your computer screen, but on any mobile device, you'll see a button that says Contact. If
Yeah.
you click or tap on that button called Contact, you are then going to be able to send me a text message. And just make sure you send me your name, your email, and the name of this show. It's very important that you put down between the lines, right, that the name of the show, because I need to know where you came from.
That's right.
To know what you're eligible for, because I'm giving special gifts to people who are contacting me from this show.
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So then once you send me a text and we're connected, and then we can exchange messages, I will instruct you of where you can go to schedule time for us to chat. That's number one, if you're interested in connecting, or if you would just like a copy of my book, I will explain to you how you can get a copy of my book, join my bonus membership program, and get all the 18 exercises that are in my book, because they're mentioned in the book, but not all of them are in the book. So I'll help you get all of those things.
But for those who are watching it on their computer, or who will be using their computer.
Well, okay, yeah, I mean, on the computer, you still, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can click the website, you can go to go ahead and click on Life Crafting, on the button there. Okay, good. So you can go to, this is going to take you to lifecraftingprogram.com, where you can see my book, you can see the book, you can see about me there. You can click on Get Your Free Bonus Membership there. That's an option for you. You can learn about me. There's a picture of me in my bio there. You can read that. And if you go and you can schedule an appointment, as you see, then if you go back up to the top of the page, go back up, you'll see that there is a contact button there where you can send me a contact message directly if you want to just chat informally. So there's lots of options, lots of ways for us to, but the most important thing is really for us to connect either by text or by email, whatever, because then I'll find out where, what you need the most and what's going to help you the most. I want to be sure that you get what's really going to help you.
Nice. And you use astrology. How you use astrology as part of it? Some people think of these as woo-woo.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me say a couple things about that, Corinne. First of all, people need to know that I got my master's degree in pure mathematics. I taught high school and college for many, many years. I come from a strict, rigorous scientific background, intellectual. I studied astrology many years ago from the vantage point of to really test to see. And first of all, you need to know that 99% of anything you probably have learned or believe about astrology is utter nonsense, because the world is filled with what I call pop garbage. It's all garbage, it's pop, and it's just really for entertainment purposes. So it's important to realize that astrology is an ancient art and science that goes back thousands of years, very well-established people throughout history were astrologers, although they attempted to suppress that, because they didn't, like Sir Isaac Newton was studied astrology. They didn't want anybody to know that. So they, anyway, long and short of it is that astrology is a profound tool for spiritual development and for self-awareness, okay? And in my book, I explain a lot of the history. I'm not going to go into that now, but once we get acquainted, you will learn my unique integration system of how I combine personal spiritual growth, business, and astrology. Those three areas, or it's like alchemy, it's like magic. I use all of them in a unique way, bring them together, and so you can achieve unbelievable breakthroughs.
So tell us a bit about your history now. Let's go back into your life a bit. And
okay, absolutely.
Who was Howard before all of this, and who is Howard now, and what you have learned in that gap?
Yes, let me. It's a great question. Let me share about that. Early in my life, I was headed towards being a mathematician and being a college professor, getting my PhD. And that was my plan. That was my path, and that was my plan, okay? And then way back, I won't mention the year, but way back, the universe had a different plan for me. I will just say that. The spirit had a different plan for me. And there were certain circumstances that happened which caused me to rethink and reflect on that assumption. And one thing led to the next. And before I knew it, I was studying astrology at a metaphysical type school on Eastern Long Island. When I tell people where I studied and what year it was, they don't believe me because they don't think anything like that could have existed there. But it was all true, and I did it. And as I studied astrology, I realized that this was already part of my DNA. I already kind of knew it, and I was like sort of taking a refresher course,
That's right. Yes.
And as the years went by, I continued to go deeper and deeper, and I started to bring other disciplines that I was studying, all other models and systems and methods together. There was this mixing and blending and synergy that took place. And after a while, it was bing, 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 bing. It was like I wasn't even aware what I was doing, where I was doing it. It was all like a system. It was all integrated. It was all flowing, and intuitively guided to how I could serve each person in the best possible way. And that's what led me to where I am now.
Wow. Now, here's the thing. You said earlier that the universe had another plan, a path for you. How
Correct.
do you recognize that? How do you realize that the universe has a different plan for you? Because I mean, you're moving the path where it's the status quo, professorship, teaching at a university, college. I mean, you got it made. What are you doing off at studying astrology?
It's a legitimate question what you're asking. So let me answer it this way. When most of the time when people are faced with challenges, they will push through, or they'll persist, or they'll keep going. They don't ask questions. They don't reflect. They don't go deeper. They don't, try to understand what is really going on and why it's happening. They just take everything on a very superficial level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they try to brute force their way.
Yeah.
Continue. For me, there was something in me that was from the beginning was much more self-reflective, more introspective analysis, and coming to a deeper understanding and seeing that there are reasons, purposes of why things were happening. They weren't random. They weren't accidental. There was a reason. And when I opened myself up to seeing what the deeper guidance was, I started to see where I was really being directed and what was really important. And I also realized that was what I loved anyway. So where I was being directed was, I was ecstatic and I was thrilled with and loved every minute of it anyway. Okay. Who do you know that after 35 years, that they're still like a kid in a candy store, and they're still
Me,
every
me,
day joyful
me,
because,
me, Howard, me.
yeah, because I'm on that creative edge. I'm on that edge.
That's
You know,
right.
with creativity, we're always pushing the envelope outward. So anyway, I
Have
hope that
people, have people ever told you to grow up, Howard?
they what?
Have anybody or people ever tell you, please grow up? Grow up. Why don't you grow up?
No, no, no one ever tells me that. To be honest, no one ever tells. They know I'm a kid. They know I'm a kid. They never would even try to tell me that.
You know, I mean, people will look at me and be like, why doesn't she grow up? I'll be like, why? What, why?
Well, you know, I have a good Clark Kent, a good Clark Kent persona.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I can wear a shirt and tie and jacket. I can
Of
look
course.
like a good citizen.
Yeah.
You know, I can do a disguise of a good citizen and fit
Of
in, but
course.
they'll
Yeah.
just never really know what's behind the scenes. You
That's
know,
right.
until they get to
When,
know me.
when you take off the glasses, it's a different person.
Yeah, very good. Exactly, you got it. Exactly. So I want to talk, maybe we can talk a little bit about beliefs
Yes.
because that was one of the subjects here, you know, doubts and fears,
Yes.
and I want to say a little bit about that. So for people viewing this, because it's such an important topic, then everything you experience in your life, from the highest ecstasy and joy all the way to the deepest despair and everything in between, is all generated by beliefs, which are like the code in your biocomputer that were programmed a long time ago, mostly without your knowledge or knowing it. And the programmer threw away the key and left no debugging tool. So
Yeah.
you could go back into the code like with
No manual.
modern software,
No
but
manual.
you have no way to decode. So the good news is that my team and my colleagues, have found the way to debug the code.
Mm-hmm.
We literally found a way to identify exactly what beliefs are causing the experiences you're having and how to gently and compassionately go down and peel the onion down and get to those beliefs.
Yeah.
And once we find them, to elegantly transform them to empowering beliefs that further you on your path. So in my book, there are 2 whole chapters devoted to the arena of beliefs. And even though they're substantial and powerful, but to be honest, they're still the beginner level, okay? In other words, you go there, you learn the basics, then you get in touch with me and you're gonna learn, you know, the real deeper, more advanced, you know, tools. But you got to start somewhere, right? And just beginning to know what beliefs you have and how they're affecting you emotionally and your decisions, et cetera, is huge. I'm sure you know that. Just that alone is huge.
Well, listen to me, Howard. You're talking the red pill and the blue pill here with the matrix. You're telling persons you have to make a choice. You either stay in the matrix
I'm
or you
so
come
glad
out.
you mentioned that because
Yeah, you
everyone
either you either stay in the matrix or you come out. And I remember, you know, persons who came out of the matrix because we are living in the matrix. And some people decide, I want to stay ignorant. I want to stay the way I am. I'm accustomed to this. This is my comfort zone. You're asking me to deal with limiting beliefs. You're asking me to deal with my doubts and fears, to see the potential that I truly have. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of knowing what the Clark Kent within me. I'm afraid of
Okay, so
knowing that the
let me
powers.
okay, let me just, can I comment on that for a moment?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I'm just delighted that you mentioned red pill and blue pill because in my world, in my reality, when people hang around me, they always take the red pill. Always. So
I
that's
love
number
it.
one.
You just got to take
That's
the red
number
pill.
one.
Yeah.
Now, let's take a look at what you just said, because what you just said is really it's actually a gold mine without maybe realizing it. So I'm afraid to explore the deeper levels of my psyche
Yes.
because who the hell knows what I'm going to find there.
Yeah.
It could be extremely painful. It could be difficult. I might cry. I might be upset, you know, all these things. Okay. So what if there was a way that you could learn about yourself and you could take baby steps and you could peel the onion down and you could bring a lot of love and compassion and you can go real slow and you can actually experience amazing, wonderful breakthroughs at a very simple level and start to build confidence and feel good about yourself and know that, you know, God, Spirit, the universe is always behind you,
Of
supporting you
course.
every step of the way. And, you know, and you don't need, you know, you can let go of that fear. You can
Yeah.
let go of that worry. But even if you have that fear, so what's that fear really? It's just another belief. No
That's right.
matter
That's
what
right.
you think, it's still a belief, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
you get what I'm
the
saying.
thing about it, Howard, is that you are allowing the fear of the unknown hold you back because of the fear of what you already know. I am like, you just don't know. You could be better than, greater than, a higher version of yourself. I am so excited, Howard, of going forward, of discovering so much of me, of learning so much about me, of finding out I have so much power within me because
Yeah.
this God source universe put these things in you, but we have been so programmed to this point that we have stopped ourselves from really becoming who we truly are meant to be. And I feel
Right,
so
but let's
confident.
go. But okay, but Corinne, let's go back to what we said way back at the beginning of our conversation today when I spoke about the support system. Remember, so I want you to imagine you've got a support system, you've got a group of loving people in your life, you know, who really care about you, they're committed to you,
Right.
you know, and you're moving along in on your journey, taking the baby steps, going forward, getting feedback, getting love. You're never going to take on too much. You're never going to go too big. You're going to always move at what you're ready for, and you're going to learn as you go, one step at a time. And as you succeed with those baby steps, whatever they are, you're going to get on what we call a confident success spiral, which is a, you know, like a spiral where every win builds confidence, then another win, then another win, then another win. And how we're wired as human beings is that we build momentum when that happens. We build momentum. And that momentum is extraordinary because that's what allows us to keep elevating higher and higher, you know, and build that momentum. And then those other things just fall by the wayside because our true nature, our true infinite beingness, you know, is revealed to us. We get to see it. We get to feel it. We get to know it.
Another fear, Howard, is that
We soar.
when we decide to go higher, and we decide we want to know what is in the unknown, it means letting go. It means shedding, Howard. It means the people in our family, friends, network who we know have to go because you cannot hold on to those things of the past to move forward. They don't
Yeah,
fit
what
in.
what you're basically saying is that if you have people in your life and you
Yeah,
kind of know who they are that are derailing you or disempowering you or non-supportive of you, because
yeah,
who knows, maybe they're threatened by your
that's
ambition or by your success, then you need to do a friendectomy.
right. um, Howard, Howard,
Yeah.
you just came up with that word, friendectomy.
No, actually, it's not original. Somebody gave it to me a long time ago.
Well, I am definitely going to be using that. So I just stole it from you, and I'm making it public that I stole it from you. So you cannot um, bring any legal against me and say I.
No, I will not. It's not copyrighted. But let's talk about something really, really important and essential, which is people watching this
Mhm.
are really saying, but I want to make money doing what I
I
love.
love,
I
yes.
don't want to be spinning my wheels in some job that just to get by, you know, whatever. Okay, so I want to assure everybody watching.
The
I
hamster.
want to assure everybody watching this that we have a system that's been proven over time to empower you to make money doing what you love. But everything is a process with steps. And so the first step is get in touch with me at howards360.com. Let's start a conversation. We have many, many resources that can help you. And we'll go. And as I said before, on the computer screen, you will not see that contact button. But if you go to the page on your mobile phone or your tablet, you will see contact button, You will want to click on contact and then send me a text message. Make sure you say your name, your best email address, and the name of this show so that I know where you came from. And my promise is I will make sure you get a free copy of my book with all the exercises, and I will support you in using exactly the tools you need to move forward wherever you are.
Great way to end the show. Howard Sambal, thank you so much for being on Between the Lines. Please look out for my name. As a matter of fact, we are moving forward with that process, with me being the first one. So I'm going to start the process, but thank you so much.
Yeah, I thank you so much for your great questions and being such a great interview. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.